Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great Thanksgiving holiday weekend. It is Black Friday night. My name is Dan Skoff. I'm the Chief Meteorologist of KNWA and Fox 24. And we have some interesting weather after a very warm weekend. Get out and take advantage of the warmth. It will be rather windy, but we do have a strong Arctic cold front coming in on Monday. That's going to bring the potential for some freezing rain and freezing drizzle. Let me get you caught up on what's happening in this webcast extra. Just before your weekend is up, the strong Arctic front will be moving in. Now, right now, Friday night, 16 in Bismarck, and you think that's cold. Look at the temperatures in Canada. High level at nearly negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit, so 27 below, 8 below in Fort McMurray, and 13 below zero in Edmonton. So yes, cold air is building up, and this is going to surge southward, and the weather conditions definitely favor some freezing rain potential. That's going to be our main winter precipitation type on our Monday morning. Now you can already see some freezing rain starting to pop up just to the north of Chicago. This is in the Wisconsin area. A little bit of freezing rain and freezing drizzle. In fact, as we take a look here at the watches and warnings, there's a freezing rain advisory already in effect for areas in central Wisconsin. That's a sign that the cold air is going to be plunging southward. Now, the upper level weather pattern will keep a jet stream flowing from the southwest, a strong Arctic high moving in about 1030, 1040 millibars, to be honest with you. As it dives in, that's going to take that cold front and push it in late Sunday night and into early Monday. However, as you know by past history and also by past experience, Arctic air, as it moves into the Ozarks, slows down and kind of stalls out. And this is just a graphical representation of that. So this Arctic air is very shallow, meaning it's low to the ground, approximately 1,400 feet deep, according to the latest computer model soundings, which basically measures the depth of the cold air. Now, as you'll see this cold air moving in and it encounters the Ozark Mountains as the Arctic air plunges southeast, that cold air can't go through the terrain, obviously, can't go through the mountains, so it kind of seeps in around them, as you see with this graphic. So the higher elevations don't quite get the cold until it builds up high enough to spill over the tops of the mountains. And this is why a lot of times, even though the cold air is expected to push in, kind of stalls out and takes longer to move in. So anywhere you see that outlined blue area is that Arctic air mass, and yet it is missing a good majority of northwest Arkansas. But you can see a few areas in northwestern Benton County, also western sections of Benton County and northwestern sections of Washington County, as that cold air kind of seeps in along the Illinois River Valley. So winter precipitation types is going to be most likely rain, and here's the reason for that. We're going to have that warm layer of air above freezing thanks to that jet stream flowing from the southwest. Now, in winter weather, all of the precipitation starts off as snow, but when you have that warm layer of air that's above freezing, you have a melting of that precipitation from snow to rain. So obviously rain is frozen precipitation that falls through the warm air and melts into all liquid rain. What we are going to experience is a very shallow wedge of cold air that will have trouble getting over a portion of the Ozarks at first, and so that's why we're calling for that freezing rain potential. The cold air just won't be deep enough to provide sleet. That will happen, though, in Missouri as well as eastern sections of Kansas. But the question is, will the precipitation make it that far north? So let me show you on the future track this cold air that will be plunging southward. Now, it will be warm, especially to start off Sunday morning, way above freezing in the middle to upper 50s. And then by Sunday afternoon, 67 degrees. But can you see the cold front? It is very clear, very evident, flowing through Kansas as well as Missouri. That cold air will continue to plunge southward. Now at midnight, you're going to see the cold air kind of stall out as it enters into the Ozark Mountains and the terrain. 32 in Wichita, northeast Oklahoma, the wind comes sweeping down the plain, so the cold air won't have any problem building in there. And shortly after midnight, watch this temperature drop. Wow, that's pretty quick. Already close to freezing, but not quite there. However, parts of northwestern Benton County could be at that freezing level and that freezing mark. Look at how the cold air kind of stalls out as it plunges straight south in Oklahoma, but slowly moves through northwest Arkansas. So temperatures will most likely drop below freezing, but by then the precipitation could come to an end. So here's our future track. Obviously, Sunday afternoon into the evening, very warm, above freezing, and very strong south winds. Now, the winds are going to shift when that front comes in. There's the precipitation developing late Sunday night, temperatures way above freezing. Sometimes Arctic air masses do move in a little faster than predicted, and so we're definitely accounting for that. I'm having temperatures for the high temperature Monday early in the morning into the mid and upper 50s. Now by Monday late morning, look at the temperature drop, 45 in Fayetteville, but you can already see some pink starting to pop up. That is the potential for some freezing drizzle as well as some light freezing rain. Now bridges and overpasses will be the main concern because obviously the roads have been very warm over the weekend thanks to temperatures warming to near 70 degrees with a strong south wind. However, I do want you to pay attention to these northerly winds. I mean, if we get any ice accumulation of about 5/100ths of an inch, maybe 1/10 of an inch of ice, if this precipitation is a little bit heavier, that could lead to some issues, especially with strong northeasterly winds. And if that precipitation does increase a little bit more, we will have to watch it closely, but that could lead to a few sporadic power outages. Right now, though, we're expecting slick bridges and overpasses, especially in portions of southwest Missouri, northwestern sections of Benton County. Now, in Washington County, it's going to be mostly a cold rain, as well as Madison County, but there will be areas that pick up a little bit of a wintry mix, meaning rain changing over to freezing rain, and in the River Valley it's going to be all liquid rain. So here we go, winter weather rearing its ugly head again on Monday as a strong Arctic air mass comes in, and a couple key reminders is Arctic air can move in faster than expected, and if that happens, then it means it'll be colder than expected on Monday morning, which could lead to the potential for freezing drizzle and freezing rain right here in the Washington County area as well. Another thing to mention is the system coming in could be stronger than expected as well, which leads to more precipitation, and the cold air will definitely be in place. That shallow wedge of cold air, that Arctic air, will be in place to provide the potential for freezing drizzle and freezing rain. And then finally, if the temperatures continue to stay below freezing and the precipitation lasts a little bit longer, we could be looking at more ice accumulation along with that wind. So that's the latest here from the Weather Center. I will be off on Saturday and taking a break from social media just a little bit, but I will be back on Sunday giving you another detailed webcast extra. So until then, keep it here with your weather authority, and we will keep you up to date with the latest.